Hi all, welcome back to Unconditional Surrender. This is training scenario 4, this is my part 12. So same night as I done part 11. Just been away getting something to eat, so this will be the last bit for the night. We are in the middle of things. We have just, we're still in the Axis operation phase. All we've done is activated that Norway unit and amphibiously assaulted successfully across into Oslo, took Norway out, and yeah, actually probably want to fly that aircraft back now as well, don't we? Well, we can come as long as we do it before the end of the turn. Okay, so fair weather, and we've declared war on the Netherlands and Belgium as well. That's where their units are out. Like we've realised I thought you had to declare war on France as well, but that was cleared up for me. It does clearly state that you can't declare war on an active country. I think it's something like that. Okay, so how do I go about? When the Netherlands is probably the easier one. It's yeah, being the reduced unit. On saying that, can we not trap? Well, we can't really trap them, man, because like I've said, they always do have a retreat into a friendly city. So I don't think there's anything majorly clever we can do there. Okay. If you go and take the Belgium unit first, no, it doesn't really help, I don't think. And the Belgium unit is a bit tougher, so let's go for the Dutch unit. Don't think I want to use my panzers here, if I can help it. Now, yeah, the French air unit can't help, the British air unit can't help either. So we've got, against the Belgians and the Dutch, we've got a free rein using our Luftwaffe. So we should make the most of that. Yeah, and if I'm to get at the French air anyway, I need to invade, I need to get across, I need to move these air units a little bit anyway, so, but we need to take some territory first, I think. Well, I suppose I could move that air unit into there, couldn't I? And then it'd be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 away from that. We could start airstriking it, but we'll see how the attack goes first. Right, okay, I can't move that way, Grant. 1, 2... Yeah, coming across the river there anyway. Okay, I'll activate the 6th Army then, for 1. And then I'll bring it 1, 2, that's moving across the river. And then 3. Right, I should have a dice, so I've got 5 movement left. And it's going to cost 1 to move into the hex, 1 to attack the unit, and 1 to cross the river. So it's going to be 3. Yeah, I don't think there was still any better way of doing that though. We'll see how this attack goes, and then maybe bring the first Panzer in if we feel the need. I guess my plan was to bring the other infantry unit around. But it's just going to be the same. It's going to be 1, 2, 3, and it's going to be 3 attacks, 6, and only leave 2 points left as well, isn't it? So I'm not going to get 2 attacks with them, basically. So it's going to cost another 3 to make the attack, knocking them down to 2. And we are going to bring some air support from The second Luftwaffe. You've got an infantry underneath there, and there's the Panzer unit under there. Right, okay. Now remember the the Western faction have both their ground support markers here. So anyway, we're flying a sortie. Can the ground support markers be used against the French? For the French? No, they can't. They can't, because the French have air units. Yeah, okay. So the two ground support markers, basically, probably fair to give the Dutch one and the Belgians one, isn't it? So do we use that one now? The fact that we're coming across the river. Well, let's look at the numbers. Now, we both need to commit at the same time, and although I'm spending the sortie here, I think from the Allies' point of view, they're going to be sitting, if they don't know if I'm going to fly the sortie or not, they're probably going to expect it, I would think. But this is where it's difficult. You've got to shut off one side of your mind, open up the other one, and then vice versa, isn't it? So let's look at the numbers. Yeah, just to see if it's worthwhile using the support. So it's +2 for German. And okay, the Allies are going to assume that we're flying a sortie, so that's another +2. We are going across the river, so that's a -1. The unit is not isolated or anything like that. It is a reduced unit though, so it's getting a die roll of -2 base to start with. That's what the Germans are going to have if they fly the sortie, which I've kind of committed already to that, but yeah. The weather's fine. So the Dutch are going to be at -2 unless they use the ground support, then they're going to be at -1. None of the numbers are that great, are they? I'm starting to wonder it might be better just keeping the 2 ground support for the Belgians. Seems a bit harsh, but well, I don't think we'll use it here. We'll just let the Dutch hope for the best. So we are going to fly the sortie, like I said we would. Let's bring that along a little bit. This is a -2, it's not a +2. So that's what we're going to get, because they're reduced unit. Well, the Belgian unit's not reduced, so maybe thinking that might be the better place to keep the 2 ground supports for. Is that unfair? Did I give this guy a +1? It kind of feels like it's a bit of a waste and probably not going to make a difference. If he does get a retreat here, though, he's then in one of the cities and getting attacked across the river. Well, assuming he goes to the... Oh, no, he's maybe not. Actually. Well, sure, he's got a retreat in the Amsterdam, isn't he? Oh, you know what? Let's just give him the +1. It's maybe not going to matter either way. Let's give him the ground support. I think it's only fair he gets 1 and then the Belgians get 1 as well. So that's going to give him a +1. So that's not a -2 anymore, it's a -1. Give that a go. Right. So a +3 to a -1. Here we go. I'm not even sure that's going to help. I think that still might be a retreat. So that's going to be 6. Remember, this is a -1, so that's going to be a 3. Yeah, a 6 against a 3 is a retreat. Sorry about that. Sometimes I try to get to the pause button, but it's pretty relentless at the moment. Yeah, probably shouldn't be trying to record videos then, Grant, should you? That's just me about finished for the night anyway. Okay, so yeah, I was trying to think if the ground support wasn't applied there, it wouldn't have made any difference. It would have been a 2, wouldn't it? 3, yeah. So it is a retreat result. Not an elimination though, so... right, while I'm there, we're going to roll on the ground support marker, see how far it goes on the track. Only one, good. Well, good for the allies anyway. So, chuck the ground support marker up into May. We'll come back next month. And coming back down here, retreat. Yeah, I'm still going to have this issue about if I can move from there to there. I'm not sure I can, so I think we're going to have to retreat into Amsterdam. And, oh, no, I can't. So, was that a mistake? And yet, strangely, I set them up the way that they had them in the game. In the... Because he could retreat into that hex, even though it's in a zone of control, it's a friendly city. However, he's got to retreat one hex away from this if he can. And he can't retreat into there, that's in zone of control, that's occupied. So he can, however, retreat into Rotterdam. And that's what he would do to make the one hex gap. So now the Germans have a chance to retreat, advance after combat. However, they can't take Amsterdam, because if that is 2 extra movement to move across there, that's going to cost them 4 to move into there. So there is that. I had a feeling I'd looked at this up in BGG before. 2518 to 2517. The guy actually asked the question, is it possible to move from here to here? And he calculates the movement cost as 2 for the enemy city and plus 2 for the straight. And it comes back with the answer as, yeah, that's fine, you can do that. So, and the designer was involved in the answer as well, confirming that who had answered correctly. So, there you go. But I can't straightforwardly move in there, so I need to use another unit. Could I use this one? 1, 2, 3. And then 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, we can. So I'm going to... I don't think I'm going to advance after combat with that guy. Excuse me. He's got 2 movement points left. I think I'm just going to leave him there. The other thing, you could still move him away somewhere if you wanted to. Or I could move him down into here. Don't really see it matters too much, to be honest. I think I'll just leave him where he is. So his activation's over. I'm now going to activate the 9th Infantry. And for 1 point. So he activates with 8 movement. And like I say, we're going to go 1, 2 across the river, 3 into there, and then 4, 5 for the enemy's city, and then 6, 7 for crossing the strait. He's going to end his activation in there. He's going to take control of Amsterdam, and the Dutch are going to lose 4 will. They only have 2. His activation's over. They only have 2, so they will collapse. That's another conquered country for the Axis. That's going to go away. And our production marker is going to go away. What's the other 2 things? We put a pro-Axis marker in the cup. And we gain 2 will. And there's one other one. We gain 2 will. And the one that I forgot the last time was... it's up to 53. The one I forgot the last time was we get another garrison unit in the eliminated units box. Well, the other thing you can do is I don't think this is going to work either, though, is it? Put a pro-axis marker in an adjacent, in a city that's adjacent to the Netherlands and is also adjacent to a friendly city, a friendly country. And, well, there's nothing there. Apart from, well, we've just declared war on Brussels, so on Belgium. Because I think Belgium are adjacent to Germany and would be adjacent to Netherlands, but anyway. Well, we need to conquer Belgium as well, don't we? That's part of the deal, isn't it? Okay, so that's Netherlands. So yeah, we're not going to be able to put another counter anywhere. You go in there, I think. Right. So yeah, we gained the 2 will. We removed the counters. We put that up there. We put a thing in the cup. Yeah, that's good. We're good. So what's next? Belgium. So it doesn't matter if we're attacking from there or from across the river, because this is a rough hex. So this is going to be a +1. A -1 into that hex. Again, I'd rather way off in the panzers. See if we can do this with infantry. Is this an infantry unit? It is. Let's activate the 4th infantry unit then. Infantry army for 1. And it activates with 8 movement. We will... That's across the river as well, isn't it? So that would be 1, 2... Well, it's into rough as well, so... Oh no, that's worse. So it's actually 1, 2, 3, isn't it? Moving in there. And then the attack's going to be 1, 2, 3 as well. So we're not getting 2 attacks again there. Right, hang on. Maybe rethink that then, because the 2nd infantry... Oh, there's a road down into Aachen anyway. So in actual fact, this could go 1, 2 using the transport, and then attack for 1, 2, 3, and still have another attack left. I think I do want the 2nd infantry to do that though, and keep the 4th. Or do you? It's probably 6.5 dozen grand. Yeah, let's just use the 2nd infantry right enough to do this. So let me put that guy back down below. Right. I've paid for the activation though. So we go 1, 2. That is right. I mean, crossing that river, using that transport line is fine. It's only if I'm moving in. It's only if I was attacking into this hex that it wouldn't allow me the transport. Yeah, just checking that. So it says, along a transport line, the terrain of the hex side being crossed and in the hex being moved into is treated as clear. Exception, this benefit is not received if moving or attacking into a hex containing an enemy city, fort or unit, or into out of the central Russia box. Right, so that's fine. So we moved 1, 2. So we've got 6 movement left. And then we're going to attack the Belgian First Army. It's into rough. So it's 2 for the move into the rough and 1 for attacking in fair weather. So it's 3. Takes me down to 3. As the Germans, we are going to commit. And as the Belgians... Yeah, I think they commit it. I think they do it. It's into rough, so... this cough's got really worse tonight. I don't know why that is. Here's me saying I'm going back to work tomorrow and I'm feeling worse. I just need my bed, maybe. So yeah, so we're attacking in there for 3. He's going to play the ground support. We are going to have a sortie. No, I think I'm going to use the same unit. Because... Alright, sorry about that. I shouldn't be doing this, clearly. I shouldn't be doing it. Just come on all of a sudden tonight. It's not been as bad as that. Just irritated tonight. Right, so we're having a sortie, they're having a ground support. So let's see what's what. Right, so +2 for German. Maybe me speaking as well isn't helping it, is it? Maybe stop talking. So +2 for German. +2 for air support, but -1 for attacking in rough. So I think we're at +3. He's in rough, yeah. And they put the ground support, so I think they're at +1. Let's just see we've not missed any in there. No, we're not attacking across in, and we are attacking into the rough, but... yeah, I think that's it. And remember, he's a full strength unit, so he's not getting any minuses. He's not isolated or anything. Alright, so a +3 to a +1. So a different story. If they get a good result here. It looks like they have. So 5 for the Germans with their +3. And a 5. So that's nothing, isn't it? Diamond result. Taking that one away. Okay. Let's roll for the ground support. A 5, so not so good with that one. So it's going 5 turns ahead on the track. I'll just get that put away. Alright, so no result. They do have 3 points left. The movement though, so they do have one more shot at it. So we will attack again. I'm going to use the same air unit again. Kind of want to save this one just in case I'm going to do some airstrikes. We'll see. But yeah, we'll find their support. So we are getting the +3 still, and this time they're not getting anything. So let's see if we can get it this time. Well, that's better, much better. So 8. I'm constantly having to pause the camera here. This is hopeless. So 8 against 2. It's actually a DD result. So good for the Germans. So that's a disruption. He loses a step and must retreat. So can't retreat here or here. And he can't retreat there because he's not moving one away from the attacker. So that's his only legal retreat into Antwerp. So does the Second Army advance? I don't think I do want to advance because I thought at first that's fine, we can bring another unit, this unit's under here, up into here, there's 1, 2, 3 along in there. But then we're attacking across that river there. Into this Antwerp. So, and if I advance into there, it blocks that hex for... which I think is slightly better. So, did I just leave that guy there though? I mean, well, you either advance or you... well, maybe I should budge him up there, though, to make a space here, really. and just take the chance with that one. I think the extra -1 for coming across the river might not be such a hard. -1 for the river, -1 for the city, though, isn't it? Well, I'm just going to advance it, and that's it done. I'm going to have to stop. I can't. The coughing's just too much. I don't know what's flared it all up, but. So what am I, 25 minutes in? Just going to go pause, but that's me for the end of the night, guys, because it's not much good, this. So I'll hopefully be back tomorrow to finish this off. Okay, cheers. Hi all, welcome back to Unconditional Surrender. This is training scenario 4. This will be my part 12. Just before we get started, had a couple of comments from the designer on watching over the video footage. He's keen, obviously, to watch some. Well, I dare say you do want to watch some of your stuff unfold and whatever, but whether watch it all through or not. So yeah, there was a couple back. Yeah, I think I dealt with that. What have we got here? We've got. Sorry, where are we? No, it's not that. It's not that. Hang on, Grant. Oh yeah, did I bring this one up? Maybe I didn't, because John Brown also noticed this as well. The designer picked up on it first, and John obviously hadn't seen his comment and just added it. I knew something had to be. I felt like something had to be there, but in severe weather, we were talking about the division, dividing everything, the dial by 2 and rounding up, and why it wasn't here. Well, it is here. It's down the very bottom, and as usual, Grant does his bit and not fully reading everything through. It says a side's modified combat result is divided by 2 for each of the following. Round up after each division. One or more of a side's ground unit has no supply. Unit defending and or attacking a unit in a hex affected by severe weather, and that's the one I was challenging, saying you would thought it was here, but there it is. It's right there, Grant. An attacking ground unit that occupies a 4. This can only be an assault attack. Now I knew about that one as well, because you see that when you if you ever try to attack some of the Maginot forts in France. So yeah, that was pointed out, and let's say John chimed in with that one as well. Another game that he's not got, but he seems to be able to read through the rules better than me, funny enough. So, and then, yeah, Sal goes on with a couple of things, just try to straighten me out on how some of this game works, you know. He says in the rules, sharing and then fill in item there. So sharing a land border or sharing a sea zone or whatever. Anyway, with an active friendly country, it means any active country friendly to that faction. I think I was aware of that one, but it does say, remember, Soviet and West are considered enemy factions to each other, so you need to be careful with that. Although the Soviets and the Western are sort of working together, they are still classed as enemy factions to each other. So he carries on. There's no timestamps here though, so I can't pinpoint exactly where he's directing these things at. This was from, however, it was from part 6. So what did I say? We're on part 12 now though. So yeah, but I've only got like up to 8, I think, uploaded at the moment. Like I say, I like to watch them back before I post them out there. So he says, so for the Western political success, I'm guessing he's missed a word there. You could have picked any neutral country next to France or UK. So I must have drawn a Western political success that turn. So yeah. So any neutral country next to France or UK. Yeah, I think I was aware of that one too. It said if Poland was still active rather than conquered, you could have selected one next to Poland. Yeah, because Poland would be an active friendly country as well to the West. So yeah, so if Poland was there still, yeah, see, we could have put one in Hungary, as the West, you know. I can't remember what I've done with that one. I want to say that they're not the first one to took the one back out of Hungary that the Germans had put there. I think maybe that's what I've done. Like I say, there's no timestamp in, so I can't quite grab where he's at. But it's just to give an idea of how it works. So he also carries on, also if the rules simply refer to a country, then that includes both its mainland and overseas areas, which maybe I hadn't really fully been thinking about. And getting on the third paragraph that he's got, that does make me think, yeah, I wasn't quite maybe thinking about that. So I'll read on. If a rule specifically applies to only a mainland area or only overseas areas, it will explicitly state that. It will explicitly state that. Put another way, if you don't see the words mainland or overseas, then the rule applies to either one. Right, okay, Rule 16 will tell you what are mainland and overseas areas. Just because I've got the rule book near the end there. Yeah, that shows you the country list. And yeah, highlights, yeah, I noticed that. It's highlighting the countries. Rather than bring this up on the camera, like it's got France and underneath it's got mainland. Whereas it's got French North Africa. That says mainland. Oh, I see, it's got overseas. Yeah, France mainland is continental France. Sorry, maybe I can just get this in here. And this is from my rule book, so whether there's any errata here. France, mainland, continental France, and then the overseas countries are Corsica, French North Africa, and Syria. So they're the overseas countries that attached to France. And if we look for the UK, they've got a few, haven't they? Yeah, down the bottom, mainland, Great Britain and Northern Ireland. And then overseas, it's got Cyprus, Egypt, Gibraltar, Kuwait, Malta, Palestine, and Transjordan. So, yeah, and then, so any of these countries like Egypt, which I hadn't thought about, that's going to be an option too. And he comes in with his third paragraph, and that's where it becomes relevant. That says, getting back to the Western political success, Portugal could have been selected. Now, I said Portugal wasn't. I remember saying that, don't I? So, and this is a bit that I've not thought about, right? and it's regarding, is it regarding Gibraltar then? So there's Portugal there. So he says, Portugal could have been selected because it shares a sea zone 16 with Gibraltar, which is a UK overseas area. So it shares that sea zone with Gibraltar. Yeah. And or because of it shares sea zone 16 with French North Africa. The French North Africa is here. Yeah, so these are all part of French North Africa, because it shares sea zone 16 with French North Africa, a France overseas area. Yeah, so Tangier there is in 16, well, Casablanca as well, which maybe you can't quite see, is in sea zone 16. So that shares that with Portugal, so we could have selected Portugal there. And then carries on. Similarly, you could have selected Turkey. So let's have a look at Turkey. Unfortunately, Turkey's hiding under my player aid here, though. But there it is. There's the capital. What is it? Ankara. So he says, similarly, you could have selected Turkey because it shares a land border with Syria, which is a France overseas area. Syria's on the other side, isn't it? Yeah, Syria's down here. Without moving that player aid out of the way, you can see Syria's here, and it's got in brackets FR for France. Also, I think Cyprus is involved here, isn't it? Or due to sharing sea zone 26 with with any one of those UK overseas areas, including Cyprus. Yeah, so you've got Cyprus, you've got Palestine, Transjordan, does that come out to it? Maybe not, but and Egypt as well. Egypt. So all them share that sea zone with Turkey, so that could have been selected as well. So that was good to get that kind of drummed into my head, because I hadn't really thought about the overseas part of things. So good to know. So thanks for that. And then he made a more recent comment. Yeah, again, just trying to explain things a little. So he says Western units, right, some wording errors, I think, but Western units can enter Germany once appeasement has ended. So, and appeasement ended as soon as we declared war on the Western faction, didn't it? So as soon as we did that, then French units could not move through Brussels or the Netherlands then. Am I right in thinking that? And is that what the issue is about French units strolling into Germany then? Then again, there's German units there though, isn't there? Because I don't think they could move into Belgium or the Netherlands, so they would have to, but I mean, that hex there is, well, actually, what is that? No, that's part of that's part of Belgium as well, that hex. So the French border comes along the Maginot Fort line, doesn't it? So you would need to move your units along there. I think this is what somebody was saying about, there's no way to be able to do it because these are all blocking the way. You know, if for instance you didn't have this fort here, you could move a unit into there to attack this unit. Or let's say that fort wasn't there and we had left a space there, then I dare say a unit could move right into there and well, they'd be moving in through zoning controls. But you know what I mean, if there was no German units there, it could move right through there, I think. So Western units can enter Germany once appeasement has ended. Likewise, Soviet units can do so if the pact has ended, the Nazi-Soviet pact. It ended as soon as you declared war on the Western faction. So therefore, and yeah, this was, again, none of this is timestamped, but I remember this bit anyway. Therefore, the Polish army could have entered East Prussia and captured Königsberg. Remember when I had the Polish unit there, and it was the Western faction's turn, and I said, oh, can I move? Because I wanted to actually move in and isolate the German unit, didn't I? And then I realised, no, can I not just stroll into Königsberg and capture it? Well, there you go, we could have done that. Not that would have done us much good, I don't believe. It just would have became Polish. We would have had to then go and stroll back in it once we conquered Poland. But conquering Poland in that turn was a little risky because of the weather, wasn't it? It became severe weather, was it? Or even poor weather, because you could only attack with assaults. But anyway, we did manage to get it. But yeah, that might have been, if we'd been able to isolate that unit, we might have also maybe damaged the unit. But the Germans would have been able to repair it. And well, even if they eliminated the unit, it wouldn't have been an issue bringing it back, and Poland still would have fell. So, but anyway, we could have done that. He carries on, you're right, Polish corridor was ceded to Germany, so all those hexes and their cities, factories and ports are considered part of Germany, and that's the little bit in here that's in red, and that's why we've got Posen. So it's the little red bit that joins onto the Polish border, so it's in that little bit there. And you can see in that little bit there is Danzig and Posen, isn't it? Yeah. So he says, therefore, Posen added a factory to Germany's count. Warsaw simply remained part of conquered Poland and so doesn't count for anyone. Yeah, so I was wondering about that. Although, I mean, I've got a control marker in it. It's a factory. It doesn't count for anyone because it's not a ceded area. So it's just still Poland, you know. Poland has been conquered. It's under control of Germany, but it's still Poland. So, okay. And then moving on, for political failure, he says, is the non-phasing faction applies an unrestricted political success. Therefore, the terms friendly/enemy will be in relation to the faction applying it. Yeah, I think I got this right. So if you draw a political failure as a Western faction, the Axis, well, he carries on explaining that. So he says, if the Axis draw a political failure, an allied faction applies an unrestricted political success. Rule 14.11 tells you which faction, because remember the allied faction also includes two factions, the Western and the Soviet. So it'll tell you in that rule which one does the application. On the flip side, if an allied faction draws political failure, the Axis faction applies an unrestricted political success. So if it's the Soviet faction that draws it, the Axis do it. If it's the Western faction that draws it, the Axis faction do it. And I think that happened for us. I'm not sure it was in that part. Oh, this is about part 7, so it might have been. Yeah, this is in part 7. So it might have been. Is this where I made the mistake, though? Can't remember. I think I dealt with the political failure right, though. What I didn't do was deal with the area seized marker right. And that's why I've since fixed that. And we don't have Romania on our side, but we do have Hungary. So hopefully I dealt with that right in the end. It was silly, that one, because I actually read it in the rules. I actually read the fact that it's the Soviets that make this choice, the area seized choice. So obviously this wasn't paying attention there. So okay, that's all up to now then. Right, so back to the game then. Oh, I got my dice. Bit of a strange one, this. I bought it from some website, or I can't even remember the name. But I wasn't wanting to spend loads of money. I really only needed 2 dice. That's what I got. I got 2 dice, but that's all I got. But I advertised it. I had it in the picture. The picture was the picture like that. It was like the picture of 2 dice. And then, but in the description of it, it talked about 10 dice. 5 of these and 5 of the other ones. So, bearing in mind it was only like £1.88, and it was freely delivered. So, I did kind of wonder. I thought, that seems awful cheap for 10 dice. In the picture it's got the 2 dice. I'm only getting the 2 dice. Well, that is all I got. Although I did leave a little review there saying that it was maybe a little deceiving about it. I would have liked to have got... I suppose I wouldn't have minded getting an R couple, because then if I do get more than a -6 or a +6, then I could use 2 dice. But it's not going to happen that often. And like I say, well, you can see that these have got -2, -2. And it's for power and toughness if you're playing Magic the Gathering or any of the other types of games, I suppose. But when I'm using that from a Dyro modifier, basically that's going to be a -6. That'll be a -3. And then I use the other dice for a plus, for the pluses. I would have liked to have just had the 1 number on these, +3. If anybody knows if you can get dice like that, I would have thought you maybe could. I didn't hunt deeply though, so... But if anybody knows we can get them at a sort of not ridiculous price, because I'm in the UK, so sometimes try to look outside the UK to buy things can be restrictive. Okay, so moving on, where were we? Right, we had took Denmark. Oh, there was one thing. Yeah, when we took Norway, did I put a chit in the cup? Not only that, would I not be able to put a pro-axis marker in Sweden? Is there 2 pro-axis markers in the cup? There is. One, my understanding is one came from Denmark, conquering Denmark, and one came from conquering Norway. Yeah, we have conquered Norway. Oh, have I missed that? Because I'm looking up now and we've actually conquered Netherlands. I'm wondering if I've missed when we took Norway, because we'd done that. That was just last turn as well, though, wasn't it? Maybe it slipped my mind. I've got 2 units up in the 2 garrison units in the eliminated box, so that suggests that 2 countries have been conquered, which would suggest Belgium and Norway, because I think Denmark was done the video previous to that, or the part previous to that. Let me just have a look back in footage, because if we conquered Norway, I think we're entitled to put a pro-access marker in Sweden. Or does it join up with Finland at all? It does, eh? Norway does have a border with Finland. So I think we could put one in Sweden or Finland. Okay, I'm getting myself a little confused here, I think. I do go through the process, when we take Norway, I do go through the process of attempting to put a pro-access marker in Sweden. Because it does become... I'm going to have to get my tablet. Right, hang on, maybe I can talk it through without... It does allow for a restricted political success, which requires... Well, the restricted part of the political success says that this would need to be adjacent to the conquered country. So that part works, but the other part says that it needs to be adjacent to an active friendly country. And I don't know if I'm being stupid here or not, but I think I am, because surely this doesn't apply. Because Norway right now, while you're going through that process, is Norway not an active friendly country? Because you've taken control of it. And when you've taken control of it, it's an active friendly country, and this is adjacent to it. And then the restricted success says that this also needs to be adjacent to the country that was just conquered. Something feels wrong about that. I'm trying to sort of work it out. I'm trying to give myself an example, looking about, finding an example of it, and I'm just having difficulty trying to put that one together. So I'll just leave that in the video. It does look like the designer's maybe following along, whether he's watching through it all or not. Poor him. Or maybe some of you guys, the other guys out there that are watching it, might sort of say if I'm getting that wrong there. I mean, I spoke about it at the time when we conquered Norway, so I might get a comment on that part. You know, when we conquered Norway, this was an adjacent country to the conquered country. This was... And the only other country that this was adjacent to that was friendly would be Norway, but I don't know if I'm allowed to class it there. Then now I think it maybe needs to be another country that was friendly, not the conquered country. Yeah, it sounds like I'm getting something a bit stupid there, but anyway, I conclude that we can't put it in Sweden. So let me know, and this is the best time to find out, when I'm doing this scenario, and then when I move on to doing something that's not a training scenario, then I'll have all the knowledge I need and be able to do it all properly, won't I? Yes, indeed, you will, Grant. So, yeah, I mean, the two units up there are indeed, one is for the taking over in Norway, and one is for the Netherlands. We haven't managed to take Belgium yet. And we do have two pro-access markers in the cup. Again, one from Norway and one from the Netherlands. So, right, let's move on. So, yeah, we reduced the unit in Belgium. It's just, I must have had to leave it there last night. Oh, man, I've got a bit of the video. I forgot. You divvy. I forgot I've got about a 20 odd minute episode at the start of this part. So when I made the introduction here, this is not the start of part 12. This is it was halfway through part 12. I forgot I've already done a bit, and I can't now. Oh yeah, that's a mess. So I'm going to have to attach this to the bit that I've just done. And I remember now because I was struggling with my coughing, wasn't I? And I had to stop last night. I had to stop it. So I want to say we're 25 minutes in there, and this is the sort of second half of this. I wonder if I should just stop and make this a part now that I've been, because I've kind of went on a bit here. Well, I suppose I was going over some of the things that the designer commented on and whatever. Yeah, I think I better do that and make sure that this sort of joins up. And what I'll do is I'll stop the video here. I'll attach this bit on to the previous bit that I done last night. So halfway through, you're going to get me introducing part 12, which is not going to be correct. I'll put a wee comment in the header about that, and then we'll just call this the end of part 12, and I'll just come back now with part 13, all fresh and ready to go, hopefully. Okay, so I'll be back in a bit. Cheers.